Morning. This is Dad Schooled podcast. I'm Josh. That's Jimmy, and we are here to talk about all things dad.
All the things.
All the things dad. Yep. Um, so to begin with, it's Thanksgiving week. It is officially the second favorite holiday coming up for me. This is my second favorite holiday of the entire year. First holiday being Christmas, my favorite, because it actually blends in with my birthday, so I count those the same. Everyone else does, so why shouldn't I? So Thanksgiving is my second favorite because you get to sit around the table and eat and then talk to all the family and have lots of long-winded conversations that last for hours and play games. And yep, off work. Favorite time of
It's
the year.
always nice.
It's always nice.
Yeah.
So
extra long weekend is always appreciated.
now, are you taking a weekend, or do you is your previous trip taking care of that for you? And you're just working straight through.
No, yeah, we. I mean, I'm working half the week and then get a extra long weekend this week, so that's always nice.
Nice. All right. So we're going to. I'd be lying to say if we had a very strict schedule and script that we're following ever, but we're we're gonna flip the script a little bit, and we're gonna take a break this season. Now we're still talking about things dad, so Jimmy, if I get off topic, I need you to bring me back in for if none other than your mom's sake, okay? Because we have our following, but
That's why I got this cowbell. I can just start ringing. I wish I had a cowbell I could pull out right now.
Yeah,
just bring it right here into the
microphone. I was like, yes, Jimmy, great cowbell.
Yeah. No, I was looking for anything within reach that I could make obnoxious noises into the microphone for you and our listeners to help keep you on topic. But alas,
how about you do noises with your mouth? What sound does a cowbell make with your mouth? Go ahead.
Yeah, we'll pass.
Okay. So, in this season, as a dad, you will hear key phrases from people around you like, what are you thankful for? Mainly that, actually.
I guess that's about it.
That's about it, yeah. So, I was thinking, as a dad, what are we thankful for? What should we be thankful for? And if we're not thankful, how can we become thankful? Right? It's because everyone, do you have this at your table on Thanksgiving, going around the table, saying what you're thankful for? And the entire time, you're just like, either, it depends on when it's happening, I guess. If it's before the dinner starts, you're like, gosh, I'm thankful that we're sitting down here, but I wish we could just eat. I don't know. I guess this whole topic would be approaching this season with the right heart. Might be a good overtone we can get at, because I myself find a lot of times going into this holiday season, everything starts speeding up. Everything, right now we're at the end of November. Before we know it, we're gonna have December gone. It'll be next year, and we'll be already planning Easter probably before we blink our eyes. And you're looking back like, man, I wish I was thankful for something better than, Thanksgiving. You're going to look back in February and you're going to regret whatever you said at the table Thanksgiving and not being thankful enough for something. So, why do you think it's hard to be thankful for something this time of year, Jimmy? As a dad.
Gosh, it starts to ramp up into just a crazy season of life in general. Well, and it doesn't help that then the day after Thanksgiving, I know this is like a hot button topic, debatable topic, that then the day after Thanksgiving is when you go spend the most money like ever of all time in the year. In the United States, at least, it's the number one retail day. And as someone who, all my prior career was in retail management, it was always the just most bonkers day of the year for work. But so then it was always a challenge for me. like, yeah, this is a season of thankfulness. Everyone's just like clamoring to go get their stuff. And I always found that contradictory and a little obnoxious. But now as a parent, as a dad on a budget, and you start realizing, oh, but I could get that thing for our house that we need for half the price. That's actually not a bad deal. Well, like just even our first Thanksgiving as a married couple, we went Black Friday shopping. And I know it may be getting a little off topic from Thanksgiving, but the two of us, we went Black Friday shopping and got a vacuum cleaner because we didn't get one with one of our, you go and get registered for all your wedding gifts.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't get a vacuum. And we realized like we got married in October and then it was Thanksgiving. We're like, we don't have a vacuum. And we've been married like a month and a half. We should probably get a vacuum. Hey, Black Friday deals. That's a pretty good deal. We were thankful for a cheap vacuum cleaner that year.
Well, first of all, that sucks. Second of all, we actually just bought a vacuum cleaner this week. And
you should have waited. You should have waited till Black Friday.
Well, we're having a bit of problems with technology of the vacuum variety in our house. I can probably go on a 6-hour rant right now because I used to praise Roomba for their greatness of technology navigating my house and cleaning it. And I'll admit they're still really good at cleaning my house whenever they work. But I've had a string of defective products and I'm getting fed up with their customer service department right now. Because right now they are full on ghosting me. I have submitted like multiple online complaints. And I'm like, your electrical contact that this thing charges on melted into the base for the second time on a different model that you sent me. What are you going to do about it? I need a solution because I have hair stacking up upstairs from 2 very hairy dogs that I need help with. And the normal vacuum we have isn't cutting it. Like you got to do it. You do it multiple times a day and you have hair everywhere still. Yeah. How's this for off topic, Jimmy?
Yeah.
But we had a little Dyson. We had a little purple wireless Dyson that we've had for probably close to 10 years. Like it's been a nice little vacuum. I've replaced a couple parts on it. I did a battery replacement on it one time, which you got to take it apart to do it. But it's lasted. Finally, that power head at the very bottom stopped spinning when you actually get in suction mode. So we made the decision to get I don't know what it was, a Shark maybe, but it's another wireless, modified, whatever, hung on the wall in the laundry room. It has a little light that shows you all the hair and dust on the ground when you're vacuuming. Disgusting, like absolutely disgusting. Walking around my house and you see how much you're walking on.
Do without that,
yeah. Wish I didn't see the light now. Like I just get screwdriver and break the lights.
I was gonna say the fix to that is just a nice big hammer.
Yeah, but I wish like normally we have the Roomba that would just go at 7 a.m. every morning and take care of this problem for us. Or if we leave the house, I can turn it on when we leave and we come back to a clean house. It takes care of it. But no, I can't get them to get back with me. And I'm actually going to the lengths of researching other products so I can switch and be like, this is better. I'm going to do this. But it's honestly hard to beat some of their products. The products are pretty good. End of rant. But vacuum cleaners are important. As an adult, vacuum cleaners are awesome. Okay. So how we get from there to this? I blame you.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
You got us off topic with
Black Friday shopping. Black Friday shopping. That was
okay. So as you're running around, Jimmy, you guys have a pretty busy schedule. Like between your wife's work schedule, your work schedule, and your kids doing co-op and doing other
all the things.
Yeah, everything. It's and their activities, right? We both have activity burnout almost in our households.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So with all this ramping up in this holiday season, and everyone asking each other how thankful they are for everything, how can you, as a strong dad in your household, what are things that you can think of that will help you keep the stress levels down in the holidays while people are running around?
I don't know that it's completely avoidable that
Because you're
stress
an expert at this,
levels
Jimmy, so you have
happen.
to give us an answer.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely expert at this. I think part of the challenge on that is that every household is different. I know that's probably a cop out answer, but it's true. Every household has their own unique family history, their own family story. And with my wife being a therapist, it's kind of I don't know, job security for her that this time of year. Like it's true. I mean, it comes in waves. We've realized this. She's been doing it for almost 20 years now or so, and it absolutely comes in waves. This time of year, everyone gets stressed out. There's a lot going on, and she gets booked out. She's already. We were talking about it yesterday. She's like, "Yeah, I'm getting booked into the week of Christmas already. Like that's people are already getting all that set up." But there's a lot that goes on with. There can be challenges of two families coming together, husband and wife coming together, and well, my family has this tradition, your family has that tradition, and trying to like figure out how to navigate that.
Mm-hmm.
You could be dealing with grief of having lost a family member recently, or just could be several years ago, but still dealing with the grief of there's that empty chair at the table now. Of family member that used to be with us that isn't there anymore. So there's a lot of factors that come into the holiday season that if you're not, if you don't have those sorts of things going on, and I think I was shielded from it pretty well as a kid. Like we would go to both grandparents' houses. Oftentimes they both lived in the same town or same area at least. And there would be years we would go see both grandparents for Thanksgiving. I was always excited to get 2 Thanksgiving meals, but I never knew. I imagine if I were to ask my parents, there was probably difficulty of trying to navigate. Well,
Mm-hmm.
your family's doing their thing, my family's doing our thing, and we want our kids to get to be a part of both. I don't remember there ever being a challenge for them. I imagine there probably was.
Mm-hmm.
And then as you grow up and you have your own family, you have your own unique set of circumstances that are challenging. Mine, when we were married, my parents lived on the other side of the planet. They were doing missionary work. And we lived in another state away from the rest of our family. And I was working retail, like I said a minute ago. We didn't get to travel. Like we couldn't afford it because we were poor. But B, with my job, like vacation time was blacked out. We weren't allowed to take time off for the holidays. And so our Thanksgiving traditions just started the two of us, and we had to figure things out. And so Thanksgiving has always been kind of a weird one for us. But that's the thing, is every family has their own unique set of ingredients that make their outcome different.
So that's an interesting one. You touched on traditions between families, and as our audience hypothetically should be all dads, a whole bunch of dads listening to us for dad advice, and I can't help but think, as being dads, they should be. I would assume they're married at least more than 1 or 2 years, so they've gone through a couple seasons already. I'm assuming. I know there's edge cases out there, but in general, a dad would have a couple seasons under his belt already of dealing with navigating that family differences. Now, things in family changes. Parents, it's becoming unfortunately more common for after kids get married and move out for parents to look at each other and be like, no, and split. And now married, not newlyweds, but married couples with kids are now navigating parents who are remarrying. You have multi-mixed families in the older
Yeah.
generation. And it's a common, our end has that right now. It's not a new thing. We've been dealing with for 12 years, for 13 years, 12. I can't even do math. 12 years. Let's say 12 years. So it's nothing new for us, but that adds a level of stress because you have not only the whole adage of becoming one flesh as a couple and having to merge two families. Let's just say one of that side splits into 2 more families. Now you got 3 families. You got to figure
Mm-hmm.
out timing, and that is just emotional everything. And your kids see that. Your kids watch you navigate it as a parent. And even if you
Mm-hmm.
just have the normal plutonic, two in-laws over here, and or I guess one in-law pair. Let's just say that, and then your parents, who you spend time with. If there is any friction, like you said, if there's any history, if there's any drama, if you have other relatives around that just adds to the stress. Your kids see that, and how you deal with this stuff is remembered by them. I remember, like I think of holidays, and you ask me questions like, "How did your parents deal with all that stuff?" I remember specific times my parents would talk and be like, you know, especially when we were getting older, our schedules were getting more mixed up. It was really important for them that we all come to the table and sit down and we all have a meal together. And that was important. And when I started, I remember there was some friction when I started dating my wife, and I'd go over to Thanksgiving with her family. My family would have it, and it'd be like, "Are you joining us this Thanksgiving, Josh?" I was like, "I don't know. I might have two meals. We'll see how it goes." But
Yeah.
it's navigating those things. It's stressful. I have memories of I guess maybe I was filtered. I was our family was easy because we had my mom's side was in California, my dad's side was in New York and Florida, so we were in the smack dead center. I don't remember Thanksgiving. We might have had one maybe where relatives came over. My parents probably like watching this, like, we had tons of people coming over. But I always remember like just our immediate family, my sister, me, and my mom and dad. And it was just tradition to sit down and do that. And then we'd clear a table, we'd play a game of rummy, a card game, and
Yeah.
have lots of pie, lots of eggnog. And it was just that's what we did. And then the day after Thanksgiving was like decorating the Christmas tree. After that, we start decorating the tree. Um, End of long-winded rant.
Yeah, and that's the fun part as a kid of you get to see, some families you get to see all the cousins, you get to see, extended family. Our thing was always at one of my grandparents' houses. We would have, Thanksgiving meal on Thursday, and then Friday was all of the ladies would get up in the middle of the night and they'd go get in line for the Black Friday shopping. And all the men, we'd sit around and eat leftovers all day long and play Risk. And it would be a full day affair. And whoever's turn it was always taking 15 or 20 minutes to decide what they were going to do. So it took the entire day. But those are like the fond memories I have, sit around and just taking it easy for a couple days and all that sort of stuff. But in the midst of all of the craziness, chaos, stress, and disorder that can sometimes accompany Thanksgiving and the holiday seasons in general, I think it sticks out to me that mindset of thankfulness, of having a heart of thanksgiving, it's a deliberate decision. It's not something that I think is naturally imbued in us in the middle of, hey, everyone gets this day off. And isn't it like the number one travel day of the year, I think, is around Thanksgiving, or it's in the top 3 at least, I think. So that, adds to even more stress, everyone having to deal with airport security, and nobody likes that. And I think if you're actually going to have that day, like today's the day we celebrate being thankful, thanking God for everything that we've been gifted, that's a blessing to us. Like, that's a deliberate thing. You don't just fall into that accidentally and go, oh yeah, how about that? I just realized I was being thankful the whole time. I think having those moments, having those moments where you pause at the table. Like, one time at grandparents' house, I was probably like 6 or 7, so it didn't land well with me. But we had a year of Thanksgiving where Grandma had all of the food on the table. It's all spread out. We're sitting in our chairs, and the food is inches away, and I'm starving. And I'm as a 6-year-old, like, you're hungry, you're cranky, you're tired. No, well, it was. We sit down, and in the middle of our plates are empty except for 3 kernels of unpopped popcorn, like three corn kernels. And then
That's not gonna taste good.
we would go around the table, and there was like, I don't know, 15 of us.
Oh no.
And everyone would take a turn and put one corn kernel in the middle of the table and say something they were thankful for.
Oh no. 3 times?
3 times around the table.
Man.
It's like
you had those long-winded probably too. I'm thankful for this and this and this and
I think like my sister probably like couldn't think of something or couldn't narrow it down. It's sort of like just say something. Or maybe that was me. I don't know. But I remember just as a kid, like it didn't land with me. But it plays into that whole thought of what I was saying. Like you're not going to have that true thankful heart unless you actually pause and do the thing of thinking through what in my life should I be thankful for. It's not a naturally, like I was saying, like, oh, the whole time, look at me, I've been so thankful. Like you have to do those pause. Maybe it could have been handled differently for a 6-year-old. I don't know. But
I have it, Jimmy. This year, I'm putting 10 kernels on everyone's plate, and we're going around the table.
I learned this great new tradition.
Jimmy taught me this.
You can thank Jimmy for it.
That'd be good.
Yeah, but that's a Thanksgiving that's lived in infamy with me and my brother. Like we still joke about that one.
I like that. That's actually pretty good. I'm gonna do this. So taking a step back to your kids, okay? I have a listed questions Jimmy has no idea about, just so our audience member understands what's going on here. What is an unexpected blessing this year that has forced you to look at your life differently?
Oh, and then you wait expectantly.
And then I wait
for the answer. Say it again slowly so I have more time to think.
What?
Okay, you don't have to be that slow.
What's an unexpected blessing this year that forced you to look at your life differently?
Well, I mean, in the last year, it was November of last year, so literally within the last year. Picking up the work that I'm doing now started as just a 1 day a week, just to pick up an extra kind of gig on the side, and it's working out really well, and I'm doing it a lot more now than just 1 day a week. But picking up a side job, and the work we're doing is something that I didn't think I would be naturally drawn to it, but the more I'm doing it, I'm actually like thoroughly enjoying myself working with my hands. Kind of working one of the skilled trades, something again, like I didn't think that I would ever fall into that sort of work. So I'm, working in sheet metal is the stuff that I'm doing. And it's turned into some of the jobs we're doing, working with copper and doing like really fancy ornate stuff, helping restore churches. Right now we're working on this huge ornate, really beautiful steeple. And just helping to like put beautiful things into the world. And I get to support my family while doing it. And it's actually something I didn't look for. It was a connection through a connection that got me there. And it's something that's blessed me in some ways I didn't expect. And I'm thankful for it.
Nice.
Yeah. How was that for off the cuff?
That wasn't too bad. Let's see how you do with this next one.
Oh, great. Wait, when do I get to flip these around and go back to you?
Well, I'm not going to let you get a chance to do that.
That's not allowed. Dang
it. If your kids could describe the vibe, I do air quotes, that Dad brings to the holidays, what would you hope they'd say?
Vibe or odor or?
Vibe.
Okay. Yeah.
If your kids could describe the vibe Dad brings to the holidays, what do you hope they'd say?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not big on vibes. I don't pay attention to vibes.
So okay, let's flip the question then. If your kids could describe you in this holiday season, how would you hope they describe you?
Well, so that's maybe it's more that I'm insanely laid back. Like
That's what you hope they say.
I'm probably too laissez-faire on things,
Okay.
where the holiday stuff and everyone talks about all the stresses that build up. I'm like, oh, I'm just clueless to that. Like I'm not even plugged in. So maybe I help anchor everyone else. That's what I'll say. I'm an anchor
You're the
that
family anchor.
helps keep us secure,
You're the
and
thing they throw over the ship to stop the ship.
that's it. Overboard. And
Yep.
there I go.
Heavy dead weight on the bottom of the ocean. Yes, that's what you are.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think maybe, yeah, I had some stability for our home in the midst of all the chaos. We'll go with that. That's my vibe.
All right. Let's look forward to the future, Jimmy. In 10 years from now, what tradition do you hope your kids still keep because dad started it?
Eating turkey
No, that's a cop out answer. Do another one. Come on.
dipped in mashed potatoes and gravy.
Okay, I'm going to get worse questions if
We
we keep
don't
on doing
have
this.
major traditions. Thanksgiving started just the two of us, and we had years where when we were living in Colorado, and we didn't get to travel, and we were just doing Thanksgiving with our friends in Colorado. Neither of us got to see our families, and then now that we've moved back away from Colorado, and like just yeah, I don't know. Thanksgiving's different every single year for us. We don't have a huge set of traditions. Like it has to be a certain way. Everyone has to sit at their spot at the table, and
Okay. Do your
we
girls
we
have a
will eat a
meal?
turkey. But that's like that's the tradition is we'll eat a turkey. That's
Do your
about it.
girls have a meal that they'll help make?
Some, I mean, they'll help in the kitchen. The mashed
Oh,
potato or not mashed the sweet potatoes with the marshmallows. Like
oh yeah.
that's a family favorite. It's not Thanksgiving if we don't have that.
No, are those sweet potatoes with marshmallows or are those yams?
Whatever is in the can that says Bruce's.
Bruce's.
That's
Okay.
the brand. I think it's like an old school brand, and you only see it one month out of the year. It shows up. You're like, oh, there they are. I haven't seen them all year, and now they're on every shelf in the grocery store.
Okay. So, if Thanksgiving had nothing to do with food,
Yeah.
what would the holiday look like in your home?
If it didn't have anything to do with food,
Yeah, no food.
one
Not
thing that
because you
we
had no food and you're poor, but because it wasn't part of the equation.
yeah,
What would the holiday look like?
there's one thing that we've done off and on through the years over the last maybe 7 or 8 years. I think it was the first time we got it. There's a book called Every Moment Holy that we heard about through a musician that we enjoy, Andrew Peterson. That he has a friend that they helped publish his book. It's called Every Moment Holy. He's got, I think, the guy that wrote it, I think he's got 4 volumes of it now. But it's a list of a collection, I should say, of liturgies. So us being in the Baptist faith, we don't usually do liturgies very often, or the sort of thing where the preacher's standing up front and they speak something and everyone else has their book. Like I remember our Baptist hymnal when I was a kid. We would do them occasionally where it'd be a reading response where whoever is up on
Couldn't
stage
stand
says
those. Yeah.
says something and then everyone else reads the same line together, and it's
It
kind of this
feels
back and forth.
cultish.
Yeah, it's very cultish.
Sorry.
But we got this book, Every Moment Holy, and it's a collection of liturgies over just the most kind of mundane moments of life. Can be mundane moments in life, and not necessarily what's considered like the high and holy traditions throughout the year. But there is one of the liturgies that's just a reading for before a meal as a family, and I think that was phrased something like that. But it's a deliberate time to pause and read through and think through what has gone on in your life, what's going on in your environment that you should be thankful for. Even though I don't think this liturgy is specifically supposed to be for Thanksgiving, it's a really good moment that allows us to pause and have that moment of reflection and shared connection. We're all being mindful of this moment together right now that we've really enjoyed when we've done it in the past. It's been kind of a every other year sort of thing. We'll pause and read that together, and we've always enjoyed that. It's good. It just helps kind of set that framework of that frame of mind where we're wanting to be, what the holiday is about, to actually have that moment of pause. Because if we don't, like I've said throughout the whole episode today, if I know this about myself, if I'm not deliberate about it, it just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And so taking that opportunity, like we're going to deliberately focus on this for a minute, then that sets the tone, sets the direction.
That's so as always, in order to be deliberate in your family, you have to be present.
Yeah.
So this year, to do that more, I'm gonna work on putting my phone like in my pocket or on the counter away from me during the holiday season. I'm just gonna work on just putting it down. Um, I don't think that I'm terrible. Like if my kids are asking me questions, I don't think I'm in my phone and ignoring them, but I think I'm overly sensitive to that because of maybe not just what we do here, like this podcast, but just in general, seeing like working with kids throughout the week at church. I see how they are doing with their faith. I hear about family struggles, and it all compounds and builds, and it gives me energy to want to do this show. It gives me energy to want to work with my family more on family-ish things. That makes sense, but I think that's a step that I can ensure this holiday season that I'm not in my phone and I'm not ignoring them. Like I've been really, really busy the past couple, like I'd say month or two at my job, where I don't have a lot of free time. Like I'm pulling almost all nighters some nights doing some things for some clients, and it's wearing on me. But it's something that I'm like constantly thinking about. Of I want to be more present for my kids. I want to be there to do things with them. So that's like overall taking the time to stop and just be there is hard, but it's something that I'm going to be working on this holiday season. Starting with, I don't know, in 2 days.
Yeah.
Starting in 2 days, I'm going to start this. The next 2 days don't bother me, but in 2 days, I'm going to really get hard on myself and make sure I'm adhering to a more family-ish lifestyle. What about you, Jimmy? What are you changing in 2 days?
Oh, I think that practice that you mentioned already, like setting the phone aside and not just like, oh, it's on silent and I'm going to ignore it, but I still have it on my person. Like it doesn't ever work. You still
Yeah.
pull it out every 5 minutes. I know that about myself. Um, and yeah, choosing to, oh, I'm going to put it on the counter, knowing that it's a big holiday. I'm not with all of my extended family, so I'll probably be getting texts all day long, sending texts, wishing them, a happy holiday and all that sort of stuff too. So I'll have it accessible, but it won't be on me, because that's not where I want to be present, not just physically but emotionally, with the people that I'm sharing the holiday with, and not be distracted, not be sucked into football scores. Because I know that that's one of the big distractions on Thanksgiving is, okay, meal's over, I'm gonna go be in the other room just watching sport ball, and everyone else, you go do your thing, and I don't know, I'm getting more surly in my old age.
Certainly. I wonder if there's a service I could create where you put in people's phone numbers, and right when the game ends, it just sends you out the scores like instantly. Just, and we can
Yeah,
call it like game ruining or something.
yeah,
Someone's recording
you
it, or I
should.
don't know. That'd be
Yeah, it's a good
great.
way to make enemies.
Yeah, I like this idea. Okay, so wrapping it up, we gotta get going. I already said what I'm gonna try to do this year. So I think that's a good challenge for our listener, uh, to maybe this next week, uh, see what you do that takes you away from your family, and see if you can do something that reverses that in your life. Bring yourself closer to your family, even if it's one step, and it doesn't matter if it's not reciprocated. You could have kids that are out of the house and in their own lives. Make a step respectfully to try to get back in their lives. If they're in your household and you're busy with work, make a step to be closer to them in their lives, be more present. If you don't have kids, and I question why you're listening to this podcast, try to be closer to your family in general, but I think that's a good challenge for this week. And I usually don't do this, Jimmy, but I'm gonna tease next week's topic for the listeners. I actually had some conversations with a fellow dad, and he had some concerns about this with his kid at school. Now, I'm going to preface this by saying their kid is public schooled, and it was interesting to hear this concern and struggle, but I can almost guarantee you this is not a unique struggle that only he has. So this is why I wanted to cover this, and I'm going to be working this next week on making sure I can cover this correctly. But this father was concerned about bullying at the school for their kid. His son had some signs that he was being bullied, and it's a fear he has. He has a sweet kid. Obviously, all fathers have that heart that they don't want their kid to be bothered by somebody else, and they have that heart that they want to. I'm not going to get into this right now because that's for next week's podcast. But I think it's an important topic to cover, how to support your kids through these kind of struggles in life. And we're going to dive into that next week. So buckle up, buttercups.
Yeah.
All right, Jimmy. Last thing before Turkey Day. What do you got? Any closing comments?
Save me the drumstick.
Okay. I will say this. I was thoroughly disappointed that our main church service this week did not play Gobble Gobble by Matthew West. I heard it in the kids department, but I really feel like we could have led the worship service with Gobble Gobble.
Yeah, that would have been. Yeah.
And it's the only time you can actually legit do it. You can't do it after this week because it makes no sense. I'm going to talk to our pastor about that and try to get it on the books next year.
Yeah.
I want to see all three services gobbling it up.
We're gonna stage a revolt and we're gonna have a church split over it. It's gonna get ugly.
You don't gotta say it that way. All right. Have a good week, Jimmy. Have a good week, listener.
All right.
We'll talk to you later.
See ya.